Hey, so today I want to talk about why you might be feeling shitty during a spiritual awakening and what to do about it. So this is a little bit less of like a super happy topic, and it's actually a lot more of a very real one that a lot of us go through. Not everybody goes through these deep spiritual depressions during their awakening, but I know many people in my tribe definitely will, because it's something that I definitely went through and that I still go through at times. So I know that you're going to resonate with this message. All right, so what's going on whenever you're feeling this depression during a spiritual awakening? You're like, I'm doing this whole thing to be happier, to have joy, to get rid of this depression, get rid of this frustration, this sadness, this anger, all of these things, right? So this is the point of the spiritual awakening, to be connected to your soul, to be connected to your joy, and to feel really good. So these spiritual depressions that happen whenever you're feeling super shitty, it can just turn everything upside down. You can become so confused. Well, obviously I'm not going on the right path because I'm feeling this. Obviously I'm not doing the work. Obviously I'm terrible, I'm broken, and I suck, right? So these are the things that can sometimes go through your mind. And this is totally normal, and you will move through it, and you do move up to the next level. It is just moving up to the next level. It's clearing out the old to welcome in the new. And understanding that logically is different between feeling your way from the anxiety and depression over to the happiness and joy. So this is what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about that path of moving that stuck, stagnant depression energy that's coming up for a lot of people this week back to the aspect of power and joy and recognizing your brilliance, because this is and this is one of the reasons that I believe that I struggled with this so much and still do. I move through it a lot faster now, but one of the reasons that I struggle with it so much is that I can really speak on this, and I'm really passionate about it because, like, I've been to some real dark places, real depression, real questioning during this spiritual journey. And in fact, my depression got way more hardcore whenever I started my spiritual journey. So it is a real thing. Okay, so what to do about it? So if you're feeling this right now with Mercury in retrograde, with all these other things happening, a lot of you are going to be bound to feel this way. And it's bound to come up at some point, especially as you're up-leveling, especially as you're getting to know your soul more, as you're getting to know your soul gifts and stepping more and more into your purpose and potential and recognizing more and more of your brilliance. These things are bound to happen. So being prepared for them so that you can move through them smoothly, knowing that you're fully supported, knowing that you are not broken, and knowing that you have everything you need inside of you to get to the other side, okay? Very important. You have it all within you to get to the other side. Okay, so first thing is to notice your thinking. So if you're thinking along the lines of, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why am I the only one that the law of attraction doesn't work for? Why am I broken, right? You want to be shifting that narrative to, what is the lesson in this for me? So that sounds fairly simple, but whenever you're at that vibrational place of just feeling super shitty about yourself, it's really difficult to get to this place of saying, what's the lesson in this, right? So it's this space in between. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is honor the feeling, honor what's coming up. Take time to give yourself this space to actually feel it. It doesn't matter how inconvenient it is, that it doesn't fit into your schedule, that it's calling for you to do whatever. So what I mean by honoring it specifically is just giving yourself that space and time to feel it, right? So if that means canceling appointments, if that means rescheduling something, do it, because ignoring it because you feel this pressure to get other things accomplished, that's ignoring the feminine, and that's you pushing through with the masculine and ignoring what is actually calling out to be fixed, so that pattern's going to keep coming back around until you fix it, okay? So just stop. Find the time, do whatever rearranging you need to do. Tell the universe, surrender, and say, you know what? You deal with my schedule. I need to get this dealt with, and it will get worked out for you. I have gone through different days where I've gone through like this kind of energetic depression, and I've had maybe 3 client calls, and everybody rescheduled for whatever reason. So the universe will conspire with you to allow you the space to open this. but give yourself that space, please, please, please. And I know a lot of us can want to kind of numb out a little bit, like Netflix or drinking or anything like that, right? Resist that urge just for a little bit. Just give yourself a little bit of time to see if you can work through the energetics of it first. So number one is allow yourself that space and time. Doesn't matter how inconvenient it is. That does not matter. Okay, number two is find a way to creatively express what you are feeling. So what I mean by that is not necessarily, like, yeah, some people could like paint and things like that. That's fantastic. You may want to journal and kind of just like really get the emotions out. Allow yourself that time to cry if it's a sadness coming up or lack of self-worth or something like that. Let it come out in whatever way. What I've been noticing with a lot of people recently is frustration. A lot of frustration. And that's what I went through a lot this weekend myself too. So the creative way that I express that is I bet the shit out of my pillows. And until I was like fairly out of breath. And then that frustration and anger that was trying to get out of me processed out. So that was fantastic because I had been doing angelic meditations and energy healings all day, and the frustration kept coming back pretty well anytime somebody would speak to me in my family that was just kind of like would be setting me off, and I'd be feeling this anger and this rage, right? So it's like, okay, so for me right now where I'm at, these energy healings, these meditations are not cutting it for me. So I need to first express this really strong emotion so that those energy healings and those meditations can actually take effect on me. Because right now I have this wall up of frustration and anger and ain't nothing getting through. So number one, find a way to creatively express that. Now that can also be EFT tapping. EFT tapping is another way to, especially if it's an emotion you really don't want to feel, like lack of self-worth or something like that, doing your EFT tapping is going to help you to feel that emotion and process it out. So creatively expressing that emotion. So again, rewind a little bit here. Number one, you want to give yourself the space to do it. Release the pressure that you need to get certain things done. Release whatever you need to release in this kind of linear masculine way of thinking of I need to get this schedule thing done, and just allow yourself space to go into that flow, go into that healing. And number two, find a way to creatively express those really, really big emotions, okay? Very important here. Number three is, so after you've expressed the emotion, it's a lot easier to move out of it. So after you've expressed the emotion, then you want to zoom out a little bit, right? So where you're at right now, like potentially assuming that you're feeling shitty when you watch this video, or you'll remember this for next time, where you're at right now is you're right in it. Like this emotions is somehow in your perspective is a part of you, kind of, right? So what you want to do after you express it is zoom out and just back out. And just kind of witness yourself from above, witness yourself from a little bit further away, and notice that in fact, you are not the emotion. You are just observing the emotion, okay? And you can feel it in your physical body, so it feels very, very real. So just allowing yourself some time to kind of visualizing stepping out of your energy, and then just kind of like backing away from it for a little while. Breathing in, detaching from it, knowing that you are not the emotion, but the emotion is there. So just being aware of it without necessarily allowing it to completely take you over, okay? So again, the big message here is you're not broken. After you're able to detach from this place, that's the right time to be asking the question, what is the lesson in this for me? How can I use this to incorporate more of my power, to empower myself further? What is the big lesson in this for me? So asking that question only after you've allowed yourself time and space, that you've expressed the heavy emotion. And then sometimes in there too, what you can do with this detach and zoom out thing, that's a great time for the guided meditations or energy healing or just even breathing into your heart, okay? So that's all a part of that. And another big message that was coming through for this today was you have the power to create worlds. Do not allow a temporary veil of pain to mask your inner brilliance. So that's the big message coming through. It is temporary. You will move through it. You're not broken. You're not stuck in this forever. This isn't some type of purgatory. This is meant to feel good. It is meant to feel joyful. And it's just meant to teach you about empowerment and teach you about the life lessons that you wanted to learn when you came in. So keeping all of those things in mind and then allowing yourself to have that time and space to express it, to heal it, and then to find the lesson and then become empowered. And then after you're understanding the lesson, then you want to shift your vibe. If your vibe hasn't already shifted, which it most likely has already shifted by this point in your healing, if your vibe has not shifted yet, put on some music, dance around, do some exercise, go for a walk in nature, spend some time alone, whatever it is that is calling to you. For me personally, music will pretty well always do it, right? But again, this is only if I have expressed the emotion and detached from it first. Otherwise, sometimes the music will just also make me angry or whatever emotion I'm feeling, right? So you want to process that first. Ask about the lessons, and then vibe yourself back up. Now there's two particular messages coming in. It seemed like there's two groups of people out there, and kind of the way that it looks like is, I don't know, it might be introverts and extroverts. I'm not really sure how these two groups of people apply. But for the particular energy that we're working through right now, your soul is calling for you to do one of two things. Number one, it's calling for you to spend time alone. And that's the whole cut the schedule situation. Do whatever you need to do. Allow yourself some time. If you've been at this personal growth, spiritual development stuff for a while, you might move through this very quickly. 30 minutes, an hour, not sure. If you are really just opening up to these emotions and allowing yourself to feel them for really deeply for the first time, then it might take you closer to a day to deal with this, to really just allow yourself that space to heal. Either way, it's calling to be honored. Okay, so group number one is these people that really need to spend some time alone. And I mean, this is the group that I am in for sure. Group number two, they need to play. They need to get out, get some movement, get some exercise. Think about being cooped up all winter and then kind of stretching in the sun. It's almost like this cat energy of wanting to play and move and allowing the energy to move through you in that way. So just feel into which of those is going to help you regain your personal power. So you can just kind of breathe in with your hand over your solar plexus for a moment. And your solar plexus is going to be telling you a lot right now. Breathing into your solar plexus and asking it, is time alone the best thing for me right now? And it'll tell you. And then asking it. And then sometimes that can be scary too, because time alone means healing, means understanding lessons, means facing your shadow side. So sometimes your belly can give a little bit of a flip there and tell you that, yeah, time alone is what you need, but you're going to have to work through this shit and you might as well get it done now. And now you can ask, is play and changing my scenery and getting a lot of movement what's highest and best for me? And then you'll get an answer there too. And again, that can break you open to your next level as you allow that play and that fun and that joy to come back in. Maybe that's going to give you your lessons. So that can be a little bit scary too. And you know what? There's a lot of you out there that both of these are going to apply. That first you need your quiet time in order to do the healing. And then you need this play, this nature, this movement in order to integrate these inspirations and this higher level of being that is coming down to you right now. Okay, I hope that all makes sense. And if you have any questions, I would love to hear them below. And good luck on this. I know it is not the prettiest part of the journey, but it is the most rewarding part of the journey. Thank you so much.